Hello and welcome to week 5 of the big PNHQ Shakeup. And it starts with a problem. When I first started this project off 5 weeks ago, I estimated that it would take me 2 months to deal with everything. Plenty of time. But now I'm beginning to think it's going to take longer because I'm halfway through, but I'm not halfway through. What do? Do I stick with the plan of it being 2 months and then 2 months, then that's it? No more organising things. That's your lot. That's your lot. Or do I just keep going until it's finished? Or do I spend more time in the evenings down here working in the dark? It's time I tackled the pile of window regulators just here. Window regulators and wiring looms for window regulators. It's pretty exciting actually. I'm going to get on with it now. Good. Act cheerful, be cheerful. Yes. But the light is starting to disappear and I've done very, very little here today. And it's not because I haven't been here to do it. It's not because I haven't been here trying. A few expectations of things that were happening and they've kind of got in the way. So, window regulators. They've been a bit more tricky than I thought to sort out. Because although I've labelled them all, there was a point where I labelled one wrong. And this is a story that I have told before, but I'm going to tell it again, just in case you didn't know it, or just like repeat stories. Either way it works. Every time I've removed the window regulator, I've used an ink pen to write on either P or D, passenger or driver. And I sent one to someone once and they said it was the wrong side. So rather than having them send it back and faffing around, I just gave them the money back. And I had this thought that maybe it was correct that I sent, but they didn't need it after all or something. So the passenger side rear window regulator on a 75 looks very, very similar to the driver's side, as you can see. And that's what the passenger side looks like. You see, rear regulators, more awkward. Front regulators, easy. And that is just down to the amount I have. Because the driver's front window regulator is the one that gets used all of the time and therefore the one that gets worn out. Back for another exciting day of sifting through parts and bunging stuff up for sale. And my Rover 75 window regulators are now neatly organised, passenger side and driver side. No longer will I get confused over the difference, but I have plenty more to do. I've got some 25s, some 45s, well that's it, it's not that many actually. Here we have 2 Rover 25 passenger window regulators and 2 driver's side window regulators. But there are a slight difference. You see, this one is for a 3-door and that is for a 5. And we can tell because there is a subtle difference in length and bracket. Using the more sensible way of measure twice, cut once, I decided to just check something about these 25 regulators, and it turns out that 3 and 5 doors are exactly the same. So the one with a slightly longer rod and extra bracket must come from a slightly different car. You know, like an R3. It's Wednesday at 4:30 and it's not dark, but I've been promising myself that I should pop down to the lockup to do some after school activities to try and make up for the time lost during the week. The truth is, I really don't feel like going at all because it's cold and I've got an hour's walk. Why am I not going in the car? Because I've got an hour's drive due to the immense amount of roadworks knocking about everywhere. Barely any diesel left in the car because it does go through an awful lot when it's cold and when I'm not really moving very far. And there's nothing more disheartening than being overtaken by pedestrians. So why not be one of those pedestrians for a bit? Made it here in good time, but not without some problems as soon as I get here, such as Voivod's battery being flat. Just as well I had the man strength to push it out of the way a little bit. Surprisingly more inconvenient though is my reading glasses. I keep my work reading glasses a lot of the time in the car because I come to work in the car, as I do with my booster, which is also in the car, which is why I had to heave that thing out of the way with its slightly flat tyre. I eventually found some reading glasses which are almost useless. I've communicated with a few people, made some arrangements, and now I'm freezing cold and my fingers don't work, so I'm going home. Enjoy these kind of walks home actually. Only the glare of the oncoming traffic to light my way. The rest of the time I could be standing in all sorts of shite. But as I look way ahead there, I can still see, even after 7 o'clock, lights of a traffic jam. What we have now is a town where every single one of its residents must be utterly sick to the back teeth of constant roadworks, especially when they're digging up a patch at the side of the road that may be a metre on a road you could easily fit 3 cars down. That's annoying.
What the government could do would be to actually allow people to have time off in their careers.
Even though I popped down here on Wednesday and Thursday evenings, it didn't really give me a massive opportunity for doing loads because it was cold and it was dark. Let's stop making excuses. I'll stop making excuses now. Today's excuse, of course, is Dr. Meldrew kicking up a little bit of a problem with something. Sunday, the last day of the week. The last day of every week, in fact. And today is Sunday, so it's the last day of this week and the last part of this. What is this? Well, what this is a slightly miserable, damp day. It's not actually raining, but it's close. The humidity is right on the limit. It's 100% humidity, which means it's not raining, but just as wet. Honestly, motivation hasn't been quite as up this week, but it comes and goes. You can't be motivated all of the time. Or can you? I don't know. I've never experienced it. But today, I've got a couple of hours here before I have to go back home, and I may as well make the most of it. I've got most of the expensive stuff up for sale now, but the place is still a tip. And I've still got stuff all over the floor where I'm half sorting things out. And I need to make this look different by the end of today. Rover 75 wiring looms for the doors. Let's bone those up for sale. To avoid any confusion with where these looms go, I've put them in the boxes with the window regulators. Left and right. Actually, the other way around. That's driver's side. I know that because it's almost empty. And now we have shelf M4 with one small green box on it. Encroached only by a Rover 800 armrest, there's nothing on here. And this shelf will be filled to the max with tiny things. Like the 2 airbag sensors I've just put in that box. This shelf is going to be of extreme value. It's going to be absolutely full of tiny items that are still worth some money. That's my next trick. Best populate the bottom ones as well with heavier things. Rover 25 in a boot loom. A full set of door latches from a Land Rover Freelander. Not to be sold separately? No. No, they can be sold separately. And then, oh, look, Rover R8 door latches. Then these things. Actually, the next step is to find myself quite a lot of small, sturdy boxes so I can bung in loads and loads of exactly the same thing before I start organising them. Because otherwise I'll end up with... I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you there. You are officially out of time for this week. All right, okay. So with a few bits of wiring loom, some Land Rover latches, some airbag sensors and some window regulators, I've put up for sale another £350 worth of stuff. If a tenth of that could sell tomorrow, I would be happy. As long as it's available for sale. That's the main... No, it's not the main thing. The main thing is to make some money out of it. But it's got to be available. And soon I'm going to take on the rather arduous task of collecting all of the adverts together, linking them together into one big post, which I don't know how to do yet, and I'm going to have to figure out. And at that point, my Facebook Marketplace posts won't find themselves buried underneath everything else. I know, I've had plenty of stuff up for sale on there and had no interest. And it's not because nobody wants to buy it, but because people don't realise it's there. The search facility on Facebook is not very good. I know, because I've tried it. I've tried searching for my own things and not been able to find them. I've got a set of Rover 75 17-inch wheels that when I first put them up for sale, I thought they'll go really quickly, and never ever even had a single inquiry on the ad. So I think that I need to deal with that. But I'm not going to deal with it now because I'm going home to make food. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for being a channel member. Thank you very much for commenting, leaving more than one comment. Thank you for liking or disliking, I don't care. Thank you for watching to the end. Thank you for sharing with a friend. Thank you for letting me drive you round the bend with my nonsense yet again. I'll see you in the next video, or in the next shake-up video. Or I'll see you in a previous video. You're perfectly welcome to just go ahead and watch as many of my videos as you like. You don't need permission. Bye-bye. Not only did I underprice the postage on everything I sent out last week, I've just spent way over an hour going through everything in the lockup looking for a Rover 75 mirror, which I put aside about 2 weeks back because somebody wants it. And now I can't find it. The trouble is they've already paid for it as well. I have been through every box in here, everywhere. And I found 3 driver's side 75 mirrors, but no passenger side. And then after that, I came up here and I've routed through everything here as well, and I still can't find it. Whilst it's not good business practice to spend an hour and a half looking for something for the sake of £20, it's not quite like that for me here. I've got to just basically take every opportunity I have. And I've just realised this is not the way to start the video, so I'm going to start again.